Hi everybody, this is Joe Contrera and welcome back to the Alive at Work Leadership video blog. Last week we started a series and did part 1 on extraordinary love, and I told you we would do part 2 this week. But this morning, as I was sitting and journaling and reading and meditating, the topic of racism was weighing heavily on my mind, and so I thought this is probably a more pertinent issue to talk about in this crazy world that we're navigating through these days. And so the title for today's blog is called Racism. Are we evolving or revolving? You know, I've been thinking about this whole concept of evolving. Evolving as a person seems to be a popular topic these days, along with being conscious or being enlightened. Maybe it's more prevalent because of the challenges we've been faced with this year. You know, the meaning of the word evolve actually means to make more complex, to develop, which for me happens to be the antithesis of what I think we need to do today in order to evolve as human beings. You know, we're constantly being faced with opportunities to grow, which is just an evolved way of saying problems. The pandemic, the divisiveness of our childlike leaders in Washington, D.C., and the immense issue of racism present opportunities for us to grow. And by the way, for the record, racism didn't start in the United States in the mid-1800s. It's been around since the beginning of time. Slavery is actually a derivative of racism and is rooted in a tribal mentality. And we all know this. What should be more upsetting than what happened back then is what's still happening in the world today. You know, if you are a Uyghur Muslim in China, chances are you are currently enrolled in a re-education program and attending school in a detention center because of your race. That's just a form of slavery. And you could say, well, that's China. No worries. We live in the United States of America. Sex trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business, and it is a form of slavery taking place every single day in our country. You see, the people most apt to be trafficked are women and children from poor countries who are tricked into becoming slaves with the promise of a better life. The amount of money spent, wasted on political ads during this election season is estimated to be somewhere between $6 and $10 billion, which means instead of taking these resources and fixing the problem, our solution is to argue about who we should vote for, depending on whether they agree with us or don't agree with us, on whether we should boycott millionaires who kneel at a football game during the national anthem. Our evolution as human beings has led us into a more tribal mentality that focuses on promoting differences. Our evolution is rooted in the belief that we are made up of 1,000 different races instead of simplifying it down to one race, that being the human race. That's the race we belong to. You know, during the Age of Enlightenment, we all got really smart. Science discovered a world behind the veil of the world we were seeing with our naked eye. So we created new words and developed new theories, which led to new ideas and ways of thinking. And in the process of evolving and developing, in many ways, I think we went backwards. You see, we used all these words to look for differences instead of the similarities. We reverted back to our fear-based, dualistic-minded ways, which is all a matter of saying, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm good, you're bad. I'm safe, you're unsafe. I belong, you don't. You're not with me, therefore you must be against me. And the most destructive of all of these, my tribe is good and righteous, and your tribe is evil. And to prove that my tribe was good and righteous, I brought in God. Of course, it was my God, not yours. So in the name of my God, I tried wiping evil, you, off the face of the earth, or I enslaved you. I've been studying and reading a lot by the Franciscan priest Richard Rohr, who says that we can't ban dualistic thinking because in certain situations it's necessary to navigate life. Turn left, turn right, save money, spend money, start a fire, put out a fire. But as Rohr states, it doesn't work on some of the more complex issues. Applying a dualistic mindset to the challenges that arise from racism, immigration, politics, or God is never going to solve the problem. When we stay stuck in our dualistic mindset, focusing on the difference of these complex topics, we don't evolve. We simply revolve. We stay stuck in our circuitous thinking, rehashing our beliefs over and over and over and over again, as if spinning in circles, attempting to prove we're right or focusing on the differences will fix the problem or resolve the issues. If we are to evolve, if we are to develop, if we want to stop spinning in circles, we're going to have to step back and simplify our approach. We're going to need to look for what is similar, what is the same, not what is different. Isn't it interesting that the root of those words, simple and similar, is sim, S-I-M, which means likeness or the same. Simplifying doesn't mean we make it more complex. It means we need to make it less complex. And we do that by looking for the similarities, the sameness, not the differences. So what does this have to do with you and me? Well, what if today you and I both started looking for the similarities within us and between us instead of the differences? You know, no one is going to solve our problem of racism for us. It is our problem, and we must fix this. Not Washington, D.C., you and I. And you see, it starts, it begins when you and I decide to evolve as individuals. And then maybe, just maybe, we can evolve together as a race. One race. That being the human race. Lots of stuff to think about, and as always, thanks for watching. Until next week when we return back to our Extraordinary Love series, please be safe and be well.